Is this thing on? Okay. Hello there. Welcome to probably my first video version. The post version will be available in the comments. But anyways, let's begin. So, how about we begin with how the movie, Come Outside, came to be? Well, it all has to mostly do with my graphic arts class. It all begins on December 6th. It was 5th period, which is when I usually have graphic arts. We had an assignment to do which basically involved us making a 12-frame long story utilizing objects. Now I didn't have as much motivation, like I usually do, to create a story, especially that's only 12 frames. I couldn't easily come up with one on the first day, and I ended up redoing it the next day, which is where our story begins. During lunch, I began thinking of a basic story of a mother and her son who frequently wears headphones to try and cope with the loss of his father. This, of course, would not work, but I ended up putting the ending portion into the drawing. Now, I also ended up wanting to work this into a short film, and I didn't have as much motivation at the time to make it, like I mostly do. But eventually, later that month, I would eventually start working on this feature. It was December 28th, about 4 days close to the end of the break. I had just finished Jonathan's midnight snack and had begun working on another movie, and eventually I thought of finally making this movie, which of course later that day I did. I only completed about 1 minute of the film, but eventually I lost sleep earlier that morning. Eventually I decided to spend the whole day working on just this film. Now I won't go on about what the whole thing is about, but I'll go on about some elements added to it. 1. There are some nods to the Millertons, particularly the scene where Connie fully explains what really killed Butters the cow, but there's 2 notable ones. First, the full backstory of why Jaden is depressed is based off the scene where Connie explains the full backstory as to what killed Butters the cow. And second, the therapist says that couples frequently go on walks when they are about to have a baby, which is based off the fact that Connie and Christian also frequently went to the zoo to visit Butters the cow, since Connie liked cows. 3. The parkour course almost looks familiar to the course used in the previously completed Jonathan's midnight snack. 4. The short ends and begins, almost in a very similar way, opening and ending in a room with a shelf, where Jaden's headphones are sitting. 5. The film's original length lasted about 7 minutes and 20 seconds, before the extra ending scene was added about a week before release, and hence increased the length to 7 minutes and 40 seconds, not much of an increase. Well, that's mostly it for now, but there may be a sequel in the works featuring different characters. Can you guess what it is? Yep, the movie Roses, which I had somewhat announced earlier in the year before ending up scrapping it, but now it's actually in production and is currently 2 minutes complete. Well, I got to go. I hope you've enjoyed this short story.
Ending tape.